Welcome to Leeds University Business School. My name is Peter Musa and I'm the Dean of the Business School. And it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here, and then I will talk about welcoming our distinguished visitor. Last week, as some of you will have seen, the UK welcomed the Chinese President Xi Jinping. This was the first Chinese head of state visit to the UK since Hu Manchu's Jintao visit in 2005. And I was in the lucky position to attend that meeting with President Xi in London. And I'm even more delighted to welcome tonight Minister Counsellor Jinping of the Economic and Commercial Office of the Chinese Embassy in the UK, and he's going to give our Confucius Business Institute annual lecture. As you will realise, the UK-Chinese relationship is strong and is becoming even stronger. But there is still much to do. Just to give you an example, UK exports to China have risen very fast since 2009, but in 2014, we were only exporting 5% of British exports to China, which is just slightly more than we exported to Belgium. So that puts it in some sort of context. But last week's state visit addressed this gap, and the Business Secretary, Sajid Javid, said that the government expects a trade and investment boost of £25 billion from President Xi's visit. And the Prime Minister, ever the optimistic one, put the figure at £40 billion. So, Minister Counsellor Jinping's visit, wind from the east blows China-UK trade tide to a new high. That's not easy to say, but it's a great title. We'll reflect on the state visit and the evolving relationship between the UK and China. Minister Counsellor Jinping has extensive experience in international economic relationships. After graduating from our partner university at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing, he joined the Ministry of Commerce in 1984. Over the last 3 years, he's been involved in trade negotiations and developments between China and the USA, and also between China and the European Union. And I couldn't personally think of anybody better to explain the visit or what the state visit means to the UK. This is the third of our Business Confucius Institute's annual lectures, and it marks the finale of what has been an incredibly hectic month of activities across Leeds. Over the last 4 weeks, we've organised a variety of fascinating events looking at all spectrums of culture and art. And I think the highlight for some anyway was 3,000 people came to our fashion show, which we held in the centre of Leeds. And I think that's a terrific achievement to involve so many people from the city in our activities. So without further ado from me, please could we welcome our Minister Counsellor Jinping for him to give the first lecture. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much, Peter Musa. I think you have been doing a very good speak. Also, you give a full picture of Sino-UK business and political relations. And we should ask, all the friends, give you a big hand. And thank you very much again to having me here. This is second time to this, and Professor Chancellor, and this is first time we met. But the second time I came to Leeds. This is a very beautiful city, and I know there are a lot of beautiful places in this city and around this area, and also this is one of the biggest cities in China. Everybody knows this very well. And this city is not far from Manchester City, not far from Birmingham. And Birmingham will already have a direct flight from China, from Beijing to Birmingham. And next June, in next year, we'll have another direct flight from Beijing to Manchester City. And I think it's none of us with us, no business with us, right? But actually, you have two choices. You can go to China, whether through London, or you can also go to Manchester City. Also, you can take a direct flight from Birmingham. And I had a lunch in the Chinese restaurant. When I arrived here before 12 o'clock. Also, before I entered this, meeting room, I visited your medical school. Professor Michael, also told me he married a Chinese girl, and he feel very happy. And also he told me there are more and more Chinese restaurants running in Leeds, in downtown here or close to the university here. And you like Chinese restaurant, right? Like Chinese food, right? And Musa, what do you like? Sweet and sour, chicken, or gongbao jiding, or anything? The salad? Yes. What else? Duck. Peking duck, right? Okay. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, that's an excellent answer. And nobody asked me what's my favorite, right? Do you want to know? Okay. My favorite food is fish and chips. Actually, I don't know fish and chips before I came to London. And after our president's visit, not only me know the fish and chips, but almost 1.3 billion people, they know this food. They still know it's the best food in UK. Otherwise, our prime minister will not, have our, president to have fish and chips in his, house, chick's house, right? And also have a very good beer from India, right? And that one is a very IAP, right? Yeah, IPA. Okay. And it get more and more popular. A lot of Chinese people, even now, more and more Chinese tourists, travel agencies, they have a new place now. So every Chinese people, when they arrive London, they want to go that place, house checks there, to taste the most tasty fish and chips. Is that a good one? Is that the best one in UK?
No.
Yeah, what a pity, But more Chinese people, they want to taste it, Some of the Chinese, business people, they want to have some fish and chips, restaurant in China, in Beijing. So next time when you go to Beijing, you can have your fish and chips in Beijing, in downtown of Beijing, instead of Peking duck. Anyway, and I was told by our friends working in Business Confucius School, all the friends today, you have studied Chinese singing and dancing. Some of them have learned Chinese, paintings, and some of them learn Chinese, business languages. Some of the people even, you can speak a lot of Chinese, words, right? And I asked Ellen, what about your language level? Is it good enough? And she told me it's good enough. So I prefer, afterwards, I speak Chinese instead of English. Do you need any interpreter? Or do you need I speak English anymore? Okay, 那我们说中文了哈，出去。No? Okay. And, last week, our president, paid a state visit after 10 years. Mr. Xi Jinping had very impressive, and about all the, agreements and business contracts between the two governments and also two enterprises. Like Musa said, we signed about 40 billion pounds, business contracts in here with between the two enterprises. Chinese people will do a lot of things. The first one, most notable one, is nuclear power station. after my speech here, a journalist is going to ask me a tough question. How about your nuclear power station security? Is safety enough or not? Are you going to ask this question? Then I will give the answer to in the public,
There'll be I'll keep them a surprise until later.
Okay, good. So I think, Chinese people will spend about 6 billion pounds, in nuclear power station. Musa told you I started to work in the Ministry of Commerce in the year of 1984. But actually, next year, when I worked in the Ministry of Commerce, I was desk officer on UK desk, dealing with trade with British companies and British governments. And the second year of my job, when I entered Ministry of Commerce, we received a very senior delegation. The Queen, Elizabeth visited China in 1985. We had I think we had a very good meetings. The 2 years after, we had a very good meetings. And Elizabeth also enjoyed China very much. But China, at that time, in 1985, they cannot, compare with the China nowadays. And that time, we don't have traffic. At that time, we don't have any air pollution. At that time, we don't have so many people in Beijing City. At that time, we have a lot of bicycles, riding on the street everywhere. We don't have so many cars. But nowadays, China is no longer a developing country again. And some people still, so from a government of view, for the view of the government, we still say we are a developing country. But actually, China is the second largest economy now. We are the largest trading country. We are largest exporter, and also we are largest importer. So we import a lot of things from many countries. So in the world, there are about nearly 200 countries and regions, and more than 100 of them take China as their largest trade partner. I born in the year of 90. Okay, it's very sensitive. It's very sensitive, right? Yeah, don't ask somebody's age. Don't let somebody know my age, right? But I should let you know, otherwise I cannot continue my speech. I born in the year of 57. And that time we have a slogan we called 超英赶美. Alan, do the translation, please. 超英赶美. Wang Yue. Yeah. Okay. Because that time, when I was a child, China was very poor. A lot of people, they cannot have they don't have enough food. And many people, they don't have enough clothes. But Chairman Mao is a very ambitious person. Don't worry, Chinese people, our people, don't worry. We will catch up, UK, we will catch up, US in a very short time. But the time, we spent almost more than 20 years. And until late 1970s, we started our opening policy. And that time, Chinese, trade with UK, just millions of pounds. So what is the total volume last year between China and the UK? It's over $80 billion last year. And compare now with the late 1970s, just compare with the year of 2009, we increased about 50%. 50%. And China entered the WTO in the year of 2001. Is that right? Is that right? Professor Zhao? Yes. Well, you are a very, powerful person. I know you are also very professional in WTO. That time, Chinese, we rank at the 10th, in terms of economy in the world. And within just 10 years of the accession to the WTO, China overtake UK, overtake France, overtake Germany, overtake Japan. So we became the second largest economy in the year of 2013, actually. And last year, there is statistics from the World Bank, also another one, very official one from United Nations. It said China is almost already the largest economy, but Chinese people, they are very reluctant to accept it. In China, number one is good. Number two, 老二不是太好. But Chinese people, they are not a superpower again. We don't want to be the superpower or next superpower. We just take ourselves as still a developing country in the world, because Chinese economy, GDP is the second largest economy, but Chinese population is 1.3 billion people. 1.3 people. And now we are facing a lot of challenges. The biggest challenge is the population. People will say, the population, Chinese as a most populous country, you have a lot of advantages. You have enough, labor force. You have a cheap cost in all the production. That was our advantages in the past years, or you can say in the past 30 years. But now the population is an aging population. The labor cost is getting higher and higher. And some of the international companies from Europe, from US, from Japan, or from any other countries, they are considering now to leave China. Where are you going? They are going to some other countries, going to India, going to Malaysia, Indonesia, or some other ASEAN countries, or even to African countries. Because of the cost, it's no more any competitive compared with other countries. So that's the problem. But we come back again to the relation between China and the UK. And during the visit, or after visit, both leaders are very ambitious. They are very eager to have more and more and closer, stronger and stronger economic ties, political ties, and cultural ties with each other. And up to now, we have almost $40 billion investment, FDI, to UK market. We take UK as the largest investment destination in the whole EU countries. You are the largest one. And China now is the second largest trade partner of UK outside of EU. So we are encouraging more and more Chinese business people coming to UK. So why UK? You have only 240,000 square kilometers your territory, and 67 million population. Is that right? And my province, I grew up there for 18 years. It's not the largest province there in China. And we have not a very big population, only 100 million people there in Henan province, located in the center of China. They are just ranked fifth in China, fifth in the economy, and third probably in the population, But we have a lot of investors, a lot of enterprises that want to come to UK, not because of your territory, not because of your population, 67 million people there. But we think UK is the most potential country in your creativity. And during the state of our President Xi Jinping in London, we have the bilateral China-UK Business Summit. We have almost 500 people from both countries. And on the morning of that day, 21st, we have a creation show also in Lancaster House. And that house is really very beautiful. There are about 300 years, probably I'm wrong, even longer. We have a lot of enterprises from both countries. Also, we have some very good products like London Black Cap, right? They built by Chinese people and owned by Chinese people now. And they're located in Coventry, Chinese GD company. They owned the London Black Cap about 2 years ago. They are going to spend about £300 million in next 2 years, and they are going to build electric cars within the study from next year, and they are going to run in the downtown of London, and no emission at all. That means it's a clean energy car, clean energy cab in London. That's the first city in China, in UK, and they are going to not only sell in UK, but also they want to sell in China, sell back to China, because Chinese cities, they take air pollution as a headache problem. Not only small cities, but also the capital city like Beijing, and largest city like Shanghai, and the closest city to Beijing like Tianjin, and north cities like Harbin. And we talked about the topic of 2 PM 2.5 with some professors from medical school this afternoon. The PM 2.5 here is how much? 30, 20, or maximum 50? Is that right? But what is the index in China? What is PM 2.5 in China?
500 to 1,000 is possible.
Okay, because you're from China, right? Only Chinese people, they know. They're suffering this also. And yes, the winter is going, it's doing near now in Beijing and in northern part of China. The PM 2.5 will reach probably some days 500, 600, and even worse, north part of China can reach about 1,000. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how harmful it will do the people's house? Well, can you do anything to help China? I think you can. You're from the Chancellor, your people here, they are doing a very good job. They are doing a great job. They are going to, not only introduce Chinese capitals, they want to give back the good suggestions, good proposals, good technologies to China, to Chinese government. And we promise we will talk about this afterwards. I think we can do something together. Also, as the most creative country in the world, UK, you can do a lot of job in China, in Chinese market. Talk about the aging population, and I think your healthcare system is one of the best in the world. So everybody, in UK, enjoys your good system. But in China, a lot of people, or you can say more than half of the population, they cannot fully enjoy their advantages as a citizen. That's why a lot of very strange things happen in China. Old man fell down to the ground. What can you do? What are you going to do? Also?
Pick him up, yes.
Take off and send him to hospital, or call ambulance, or call his family members. Then, do you think they will say goodbye? Probably not. They will tell the police, you make the trouble. You cannot go. You should pay everything. Why? Not because those senior people, they are bad people. Because of the system not very good. If they fell down, if they got sick, if they are hospitalized, they have no money at all to pay to hospital, to pay for their senior life, their life as staying at home. So more and more such kind of cases happen in China, and make Chinese people, they are not very happy with this kind of cases, but they can do nothing. We have a senior delegation from UK now. They are talking with Chinese government. Also, they tried to do something with Chinese government. And during the visit, there is a British company. They signed about 500 million, pounds, contract with Chinese government. They are going to not only to export your products, but also your managed system to China. So Chinese people were looking forward to do so. And also we have a lot of technologies from your advanced companies. Chinese people also, we are the largest consumer of many British products. And I don't know which car you like best. I think in my age, born in 1950s, I know bicycle much better than cars. And my son knows cars much better than I do, But I know, Land Rover is one of the best cars in the UK, right? Land Rover not far from this city, right? How far? 1 hour drive? Yeah, I visited that factory, about 1 month ago. I'm really very impressed by the design, by the technology. I think it's one of the best in the world, And which country is the largest largest market for Land Rover cars in the world? UK, US, Japan, France, Germany? China. Doesn't matter, it's owned by Tata or not, or owned by British people or not, but the factory located in UK. And Airbus, this time also we signed a very big product with Airbus, because some of the parts made in UK, and you are one of the owner of the Airbus. China is going to import a lot of Airbus from UK or from European Union. And also we have a lot of factories. They are waiting for more advanced technology from British company. And when there are more and more Chinese people, they are to have more money here. So since your technology is good, we are going to import more from UK. Don't worry about our import from UK. It's not a increase very fast like before, like the past years, but we will introduce more in the future. And on the other hand, we are going to have more money here, more Chinese investors to UK, not only to London, but also to Leeds City. So why? I don't know is there any entrepreneurs from China or not tonight, but many Chinese business people, they told me why they put money here instead of put money in some other countries, because they think UK is very safe for the money if they invest here. And the UK is very rich in its culture and history. They like the culture here. They like buildings here. Like the weather here. They like the people here. You don't like weather, right? But I think weather is clean skies, And probably some other people, including me, not like the weather in the winter weather, It's really very, very cold, very humid, but for not a very long time. You can keep it warm in many ways, You can have your feather downs, You can have your heating system at home. You will feel you'll feel good if you have a clean energy here. But also, they think, the cooperations with UK, they feel very praised. And UK is an open market. We have a very huge company, Huawei. Now you're Warwick here, a very similar pronunciation. They're located in Reading City. They have a R&D center in Greenwich, the district. Also, they are going to have more people and more, factories here in UK. But as Huawei, they are one of the largest companies in the world and fastest growing company in the world. They feel very happy to running their business here in UK. But they are abandoned by US government. They say, we don't welcome UK, even you want to invest billions of dollars in US market, because we think Huawei people, they are not safe enough, and you are not friendly enough, and your products is not safe enough even. So they have a lot of excuses to keep Huawei away from American market. But Huawei people, they spend a lot of money, they run a good business. They have about more than 1,000 people just in Reading factory here. They are going to have more. And when our president visited UK last week, they had a drop in Huawei, financial center in financial city there. They call it financial control. That's a global center, not just for UK market, for whole world. They put it there in a financial risk control center, removed from China to UK. So they feel, very comfortable here, with the market, with the policy here. So probably, some factories, here, you got a high unemployment, and because I was asked it several times last week, the British, steel plant. We reduced jobs. We closed our factory, and we have a lot of people got jobless, and that's because of China. Yes, they can't blame China because China is the largest exporter in the world. Really, we export a lot of steel products to many other countries, and probably more than half of the steel products made in China. More than half of the iron ore imported, by Chinese people. But nobody knows what Chinese people now suffering now. We also have a lot of steel plant. They are closing. A lot of people working in a steel plant, they are losing their jobs. This is market economy. This is a fair market. If your products got more competitive, you can go to a market. You can find your market, but if your cost is too high, you can do nothing with it. So, but Chinese business people, they know we can do something. We should not be the person to be blamed, but we think we can do something together. And 2 months ago, we have a Chinese delegation from Beijing, a very huge company. It's Genetic 通用公司，你们是可以翻一翻。They are going to send about 10 people research group to the southeast city, Cardiff. But they are going to build a factory. They want to import some Chinese equipment. They want to have Chinese investment. That factory, they told me about, they need about $300 million to import, to have from China, because Chinese, steel factory, steel, industry is over capacity now. It's over capacity. So when they import from China, the price could be very, very low compared with any other countries. And Chinese people, they are going to do so. And as for the Chinese, British economy, it's growing. You have an ambitious plan, especially David Cameron, win the second election in last May. And Cameron told your British people, also told the whole world, UK will be the largest economy by 2030. Do you believe so? Yeah, don't laugh. I think, that's an ambitious plan, but I think, you will, reach your target. I hope next 15 years, the British people, you will be another, glorious, most glorious country in the world, like your, glorious history for 300 years. You controlled half of the world in the past, you will be another, superpower, by 2030, and we can do something together, not only in a steel industry, not only in the nuclear, industry, but also we can do a lot of things in infrastructure. And we need your technology. We need your, good management. Also, we need your, good, consultancies, consulting companies, from UK, from Leeds. So, as a Minister Counsellor in Economic and Commercial Affairs, I think we can provide a lot of help for Leeds business people. And also we can provide a lot of information for the factories here. If you want to enter into Chinese market, and some professors from neighbor universities, you can let more business people know China is still open, still a giant market in the world. And China will be, when China will be the largest economy, it doesn't matter, doesn't matter too much. But China is open for UK. The two leaders, they are very confident for the relation between the two countries. And last year, we said China-UK is going to reach a the best time. But the Cameron's office, they changed the word. Not only the best time, it's the golden era. And last week, the two leaders, they said, we are going to reach a golden decade. So within the golden decade, with confidence from both leaders, within the confidence from both business people, let's join our hands, do something together. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.